Hello.
Hi. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Cheryl. I feel
This-
like I haven't seen you for ages together here.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Mm.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Better Reading Christmas Party, a very, very popular annual event.
Mm.
Remember we started this in COVID?
We did.
We did.
Mm.
And we kind of just sat here and made it up. As
But like we're going to do tonight.
That's not true. We've got so many fabulous guests. Welcome to everybody at home. This is the Better Reading Christmas Party. We've got prizes to give away. We've got what have we got? Merchandise packs, which we're super excited about.
Some merch and some books to win. You have to answer some questions.
Yeah, and you know the questions here are always quite hard. So I hope you've all got a drink, right? Have we all got a drink at home? We've got some wonderful authors in the office right here, right now, which is fantastic. And we've got some authors streaming in from wherever they are from home. But everybody has a drink. We've even got some pizza in the oven. We've got all the pizza in the oven.
Office.
It's not in the oven. It's in the office. It was in somebody else's oven, not ours. So welcome, everybody. Let's get this Christmas spirit going, and let's start the formalities, right?
Yes, and you know, we actually had quite a few other authors who were coming, and COVID is running rampant at the moment.
We've got COVID, we've got laryngitis, but we've got Tim Ayliffe here who's broken his foot.
He's a trooper.
He's still here.
He hobbled up the stairs.
He's going to hobble over here in a few minutes. Now, you know what happens? I'm always in trouble. I really never know what happens next. And there's Dex over there. He's running the show.
Yes.
And we've got Natalie and we've got Sophie and we've got lots of people here. So let's get started, right?
Let's get started. Well, we have a little say hi to some of our lovely.
Sure. Well, do you know that's my favourite job?
I know that's why you sit right near
right,
it.
That's right. Okay. So I'm going to say hello to Julie, who says Merry Christmas from Canberra. Actually, then they're about to have a storm. We were talking about Canberra earlier tonight, weren't we? Because Joanna Nell's
you said it's hip again.
I said, yes, I did. I said it's hip and there's lots of fun things to do there. Lee says, hello, lovelies. Thank you, Lee. Sue says, Merry Christmas, everyone. Tracy says, hi to us. Yvonne says, hi. Oh, Carolyn, hello. She says, Merry Christmas, Cheryl, Jane, and all of the Better Reading team. Thank you for another marvellous year of interviews, podcasts, all the talks. Okay, now I'm going to cry. And the fabulous What Are You Reading? It has all been so enjoyable. Thank you. Carolyn, you know I've had a really hard year. She's been writing to me, which is wonderful. You know, like, let's say goodbye to 23 and welcome 24, right?
Yeah, kick that one out the door.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so what else have we got? We've got Wendy says hi, Sharon. Happy Valley Books are there. There's so many wonderful people. Alona. Anna, Tom says hi.
Wow.
There's so many. Keep the comments coming. Stay there because we've got prizes to give away and you need to be there. So we're going to welcome our first guest.
Well, we're actually going to have a message from Caroline.
From Caroline Overington. So you all know Caroline. We do the column for her in The Australian, and her and I also do, what's it called? What Are You Reading? Book Chat, where we talk about everything except books, really. No, we talk about books too.
Gossip.
I just want to say Caroline is such a precious and special friend of mine, and she's got laryngitis, so she couldn't be here tonight, but it is somebody that I really value and cherish. Anyway, here she is, via video.
Hello everyone, this is a special message to everyone who's attending the Better Reading Christmas party tonight. I had so been looking forward to it, but listen to me. I think it's either bronchitis or laryngitis. It's definitely not COVID. But I do understand people's sensitivities at this time of year. Everybody wants to be well for Christmas. So I won't get there. I have organised to send some cakes from the Humble Bakery in Surrey Hills. For those who are attending, Merry, Merry Christmas. You're such a wonderful collection of readers, writers, critics. I don't know where we'd be without you. Merry Christmas to everybody there. And I'm so sorry I can't join you.
She's so gorgeous.
She is so lovely.
And that's so lovely to do that. So,
and that little hat was a nice addition.
Yeah, it was
so
very
thank
cute.
You, Caroline.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chris Hammer.
Chris Hammer, bring him on.
Chris Hammer. Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Hello. Hey,
Merry
Chris,
everyone.
You've become a regular.
Yeah, I love it. It's great to catch up. I've got to come in person.
Yeah.
I want to come and have a drink and eat pizza with you guys.
Yeah.
Well, you should actually, because we only drink the best here, and I think you'd really enjoy it.
So you've had a good year.
Yeah, I've had a terrific year.
The 7 to follow up on all of these smash titles that we all love and all of our readers love. So talk to us a little bit about the 7.
It's been out for 2 months. It's been doing really well. The reception's been great, the critical reception, but the sales been good. And readers are so kind. They sort of feed you back, and I've been so happy with it. It's a crime fiction story, of course, but there's quite a bit to it. So I think people are enjoying sinking their teeth into it.
There it is there.
Do you know what I'm going to say? And I think we talked about this when you were in recently. Chris came in and we recorded a podcast. Actually, Chris came in the day that Brian Brown came in, and was it Trent Dalton, and then it was you? Mm-hmm. It was a day.
Yeah.
It was a day. Yeah. Everybody was in great.
But
But what we did say on that day is, and Jane and I have been running this business for a long time, is we haven't seen an author like you where every book that comes out, every single book that comes out of yours, and it's also been, one a year, right, since you published your first, people make comments and say it's better than the last. That's pretty extraordinary.
That is really nice to hear. Not everyone thinks that. People have their individual favourites, and I think that demonstrates the power of reading, because there's my bit as the author, but then there's the reimagining of the story by the readers. I think that's why books just capture our imagination so much, and it's why different people will prefer different books for different reasons. So it's always nice to get that sort of feedback. I don't know if the 7 is my best book or not. I'm too close. But I do feel as if it and the last one, The Tilt, are probably more accomplished in some ways than the earlier books. Doesn't necessarily mean they're better books. I just think maybe in some ways I'm getting better at doing what I do.
So tell me, what are you doing over summer? Are you going to be doing any reading? Is there anybody in particular? Is there a book out there that you want to read, or are you just going to be working?
I'm going to be doing a lot of writing. I do have some crime fiction books lined up. I've just been reading a few. I read Jack Heath's new book, Kill Your Husbands. It's great. It's a great mystery, but it's also, he's got a pretty wicked sense of humour. So I'd recommend that. The other 2 that I've read most recently haven't been published yet, but 2 good ones to look out for in the new year. All the Words We Know by Bruce Nash, and also Body of Lies by the wonderful Sarah Bailey.
Wow.
And if you know Sarah's books, this is another Gemma Woodstock book, a detective, and Gemma is such a great character, mainly because she's so flawed. This one might even be the last Gemma Woodstock book, so and look out for that one. I think they're both out early next year.
All right. Okay.
Very good.
We're going to let you go. Have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. Thank you for always supporting us.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. And I know our readers love seeing you. They love the fact that you participate, and they love the fact that you're writing a book a year.
Look, well, thank you. Thanks to Better Reading for all the support, and thanks to all your wonderful readers for their support.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Merry Christmas.
Okay.
And these are Chris's books.
These are Chris's books. Oh, yeah, there we go. They're Chris's books. So we're going to do a little transition here. Right. Whoa, wow, magic. That was complete magic and seamless transition. Welcome to Belinda Alexandra. Hello.
Cheryl. Good to be with you again.
Oh, I love it when you come in. You're always so bright and sparkly.
Well,
and I know, but it's not even just the outfit. Like in yourself, you're always bright and sparkly.
because I'm seeing you.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, so all of those that are at home, we've got the lovely Belinda Belinda Alexandra here. We're going to talk to her about her books. She's going to tell us what she's reading. Why don't you guys tell us what your summer vacation reads are going to be, or summer holiday? Gosh, that sounded very American. I'm sorry. It's my 3 months in San Francisco. And I hope everybody's enjoying a drink at home and enjoying our good company with these lovely authors. So, Belinda, what's happening?
Well, yeah, that was Emboldened. So this year has been huge for me. I went straight from, I think, The French Agent to Emboldened. Just this month, I've handed in another manuscript for a book that will be out in September. That's set in France. It's an art mystery. And then I'm working on my next book, which is a story around Pompeii in Italy. So, yeah, it's not stopping for me. But
Have you
it's
been
exciting.
to? Did you go to Italy?
Yes,
Okay,
I have. So I'm very excited about that because I've written my last couple of books have been in France, and so to sort of go to Italy, I haven't really done a book in Italy since Tuscan Rose, and yes, I'm pretty excited about that. I'm, reviewing my languages and.
I remember
excited.
many years ago I went to Pompeii, and I remember I was waiting at the ticket gate, for my friend to park the car, and the girl that was selling the ticket said, "Where are you from?" And I said, "Australia." She said, "Why do you guys come so far? Why do you travel? Is it like 2 days, 3 days?" I said, "We have to travel because if we stay in Australia, we don't
Yes.
see Europe, you know."
Yes.
But what an extraordinary place
I know.
Pompeii is. Yeah, yeah.
But that's the thing with the Europeans. Like you get in a car and you drive 1 hour and you visit
Yeah.
2 different countries.
That's
Whereas
right.
Here you'll get to Parramatta or something. And,
That's right. That's why we have to get on a plane for 2 days.
yeah,
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
skip a day. of
Yes,
Our lives,
that's right. Now tell me, what are you reading over summer, or are you working as well?
Oh, well, I'll have a little bit of research for my next book to do, but
Yeah.
I am very excited.
Oh,
Um,
that looks familiar.
yeah,
Yeah.
look who this lady is.
That
Can
looks
you see
familiar.
ears? Look, I wore the right outfit. To
You
go with
did.
it.
You match
I
it.
read this Tilda is Visible.
Mhm.
Wonderful book. It's my favourite book of the year.
Mhm. And it's by Jane Tara.
By Jane Tara, and it's coming out next year. You guys have to wait, but I'm actually reading it again
Right.
over summer because it made me laugh so hard. And I think the neighbours probably worry what's wrong with me, that I'm just having this mad cackle every time
I think
read
the
it.
neighbours probably worry about you for more things as well.
Oh, do you
Here
think
she
it's- Do you
goes.
think it's hanging out the washing in the nude? That's
Yeah, maybe
more-
it's that, or with all the necklaces and all the chains, and strutting around in pink and
Three
fur.
black cats. I think might have them a
Yes.
bit worried. but,
Yeah.
I've just loved this book, so I want to just take it a bit slow, sit in the garden, and just enjoy it all.
Now,
over
would
again.
I say that reviewing Jane's book by you is a little bit of nepotism? Can we trust you, Belinda?
Oh, well,
Because you two are like that.
yeah, but it's like that makes her book the kind of book that I would read because she's the kind of woman who would be my friend. So
Mm.
naturally, she would write something that I would read. If Jane wrote horror,
Or
may-
fantasy.
Oh, I don't know, fantasy. We could probably. we
Depends on what type of fantasy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right, okay. Hey, I want to ask you a serious question about that. Like, because I feel, and I haven't read Jane's book yet because I was only given a copy tonight.
It's very
so-
exclusive and it's very hard to get
Yes,
hold
that's
of.
right.
So,
Yeah.
when it comes out, make sure you grab your
Yeah.
copy quickly.
So, I think finally I might get a copy of my own. But anyway, is there, like, when you read fiction, I really feel that, whether it's crime, whether it's romance or whatever genre it is, there is the person in the book, right?
Do you mean yes, Natasha
author.
Lester and I had this conversation because we always feel a bit, we have to think through the sex scenes that we write in a book because everyone will think it's us and everyone will think, oh, is that what you do?
Yeah, that's right.
Of course, yeah. I pictured Jane as the main character. I thought, isn't this interesting?
Yeah. Because I
And
do
you
think you
said
learn a
Jane.
little bit about the person that's writing the book.
I guess so. I do try with my own books. I actually think I have multiple personalities, so you probably can't guess which person I am exactly because I like to write things about things that I probably wouldn't do. Like in The French Agent, I have basically an assassin, and I don't really assassin
Oh,
yeah,
you don't
we
do that? No.
No, I
You're
can't
not
even-
an assassin
No,
for
no, I
hire?
even
No.
catch like
No.
mosquitoes in a jar and paper and put them
That's
outside.
right.
I'm not a
Oh,
good. I would not make a good
Right.
assassin, but I didn't mind trying on that. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
maybe it is that I think actors say we have everything in us, and we just tap into those parts. Maybe not the serial killers. That might be a bit
Might be
extreme,
that. All right, okay. I think it's time for you to exit. Something happens and you leave. I don't know what
Is
happens.
that this little hook?
Yeah, that's right.
Merry
And-
Christmas, everyone. Happy reading.
Okay, I was going to say bye to everybody, but I just realised I'm still here for the next one.
All right.
Give me
So next up,
Next
we
up,
we
wow.
have some prizes to give away.
I've got to tell you, there's so many comments. I'm really sorry. I'm not going to get through everybody today, but I will try. And do you know what? You know me. I've got no life. I will go home and read them all. You know that. So Kate says hi. Joe Wallace says hi. Everybody's saying hi. Denise says hi. Cheryl and Jane. I can hear Belinda's jewelry. Oh, can you hear
Flamenco,
that?
belly dancing.
Yeah,
or
well, it's
flamenco
actually
dancing, belly
Arabic. Is it
dancing.
Arabic?
Yeah.
There you go. She's always in for the party. Sandal says hi. Christine says hi, everybody. Merry Christmas. She says, Merry Christmas, the Better Reading family. I quite like that.
Oh.
Carol says, Merry Christmas, Cheryl Jane. And I have bubbly ready. Well, we have bubbly right here, Carol. So there you go. Cheers to everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're going to do the first prize giveaway, right?
Yes, so we're
Okay.
giving away some merch packs with books,
Okay.
and you'll be
Let me-
contacted
let me-
about the books.
Yeah, let me give you the rules right. Now, just remember, I mean, this is kind of relies on everybody's patience and generosity with each other. So we're going to ask you a question like we always do. And the first answer that comes in wins. Now, sometimes answers come in really on the mark, you're all typing. So we just have to decide which person it is. So I'm sorry if you miss out.
And it'll be Dex.
And it'll be Dex who
So if you
decides.
want to complain to him.
Yes, Dex's email address is no. There you go. But if you want to complain, yeah, that's right. You can complain to him. Okay, first question. Which of the Trent Dalton's books is coming out as a Netflix series in January 2024? Okay, peeps. I was asked this earlier and I got it wrong.
You did.
I did get it wrong. Well, I haven't been watching television.
Emily
Right, Emily.
Pacitti.
Is it Emily who came in first? Yes, Emily, you've won. It is Boy Swallows Universe.
Yes, so you've won t-shirt,
You've won
bag,
t-shirt, bag,
book,
yay!
mug, and some books. And so please DM us, and we will start chatting to you about getting your details. Thank you,
Okay,
Emily.
Congratulations, Emily. Now we've got 4 more to give away, so don't go away.
Stick around. Yeah.
Everybody after Emily guessed it. Oh, Helen said Honeybee, which wasn't right. Can we? Yeah. Okay.
Maybe
so
that's what she's reading at the moment.
maybe,
Yeah.
that's what she's reading at the moment. But don't worry, Emily, because I got it.
Jane Harvey says Runt. That is being turned into a TV series, but
But
it's
it's
a
not
different
by
author.
Trent
Yeah,
Dalton.
yeah.
But what about this one? Kay Drury. Hi, Kay. She's a really good friend of mine. She says Boy
I know
Swallows
Kay.
Universe. Oh, you know
Yeah.
Kay. But somebody just says Swallow Eats Universe. I love that.
Close.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
Close.
that's his sequel.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Do you know, that is so fantastic because often when you're trying to remember a title of a book, there are a number of combinations
Layers,
that
yeah.
happen, and I quite like that
Mm.
one. Okay, stay with us. Who's next?
All
What
right,
am I
well,
doing?
let's just, 12 Days of Christmas has been good.
Hasn't it? That's been great fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't even choose which day I liked the most, but
Right.
we had Chris who was just on, and Rachel, you did a
A
podcast,
podcast with
her,
Rachel. Yeah.
Judy,
We love Judy Nunn.
Wendy,
Wendy.
right? This was one of your favourite podcasts. of
She
the
was
year.
wonderful. Robert
Mm.
Davidson. Did
What
you
a
know? Did you
fascinating
guys know?
woman.
Even the authors in here. Did you know that Robin went out with Salman Rushdie?
Yes.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
she
Well, I
lived
did
in
it.
India with some, I do.
Yeah, Jane knows everything. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I didn't know that. I learned so much from her. You know, that's what I love about the podcast.
Yeah.
I learn so much, and therefore the listeners learn so much because
Yeah.
I know, very little about the authors until they come in. I mean, today I was podcasting with Joanna Nell, and I might have known that Joanna was a doctor, but I've forgotten. And I guess that's the privilege of aging. I can't remember the last conversation I had. Don't you think? So that when I have a conversation,
Wheel her out.
it's for the first time. It's like a goldfish.
Yeah.
Hello. So it's fantastic.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I like growing old.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Look, I just want to show this little
It's
book.
pretty,
Isn't
it?
that cute?
Look at that. Look at the end
Zen
papers.
and the Art of Gardening. That's actually a gift I'm giving to quite a few people.
What, this particular book?
There's not
You're
that
taking
one.
it from the office
Yeah,
and giving
no,
it out.
no. I've ordered 3 of them and I'm giving them to people
She
because
could
it's all about mindfulness and gardening and
Ooh, you know how I feel about all that woo-woo stuff.
oh, you better give me that copy of my book back.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm going to learn a lot about you. Hey, are we welcoming Trisha Stringer? Is that what's
Bring her
happening
on.
next? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I love
Cheers.
Oh, wow.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Trisha.
So
Thank
back on
you.
your latest.
Yes. Oh, look, it's behind her. She's very good at
Very
setting that up. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Very, very good. Okay, what's been happening, Trisha? What are you doing?
Oh, I have had a huge tour with Back on Track, which was so much fun. Went across 4 states and met lots of readers. So I really enjoyed that, especially, with the last few years not being able to see so many people. So it really was a lot of fun. And then I came home and fell in a heap. And I'm just, getting ready for edits for next year's book.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I'm getting ready for Christmas.
Oh, well, that too.
Are you getting ready? Do you host Christmas at your place?
I am this year, yes. My family are a little bit spread out, but they're all coming home for Christmas, which is lovely.
Now, do you do traditional like turkey, or do you do the Australian seafood, or what is it that you do? You know I love food.
We do a little bit of everything. It
Oh, you
depends
do?
on the weather, whether we eat hot or cold. And we're very relaxed. We just sort of go with the flow and whatever's easiest. All of my family, my 3 children and their partners are all great cooks. So we all pitch in. It's just lovely.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You mustn't be having turkey, though. If you're going to wing it, you can't wing a turkey.
Oh, no, we're not having a turkey. We're having a turkey roll. That's easy.
Oh, that's cheating, Trisha. That is cheating, because a turkey needs.
I don't think I have ever cooked a turkey.
Oh, I just, it's one of my favorite things is turkey. And I only get it once a year because I miss out on it in the US. And anyway, long story. But I do love a turkey.
It is nice. It is nice.
All right, listen, what are you going to be reading over summer, or you're not going to be reading?
Oh, no, I have been catching up on lots of reading. And before tonight, I thought, right, I'm going to go and look at I have these to-be-read piles stashed all around my house. So I thought, okay, what's going to be? I've just finished Chris's book, which I couldn't put down.
Yeah.
Was really good. And I think I've added Shelley's book to I've put a few on my Christmas list because my family always say, we can't get your books because you've read so many. So I give them specific books to buy me for Christmas. But I have got Emma Harcourt's here ready to go.
Yeah.
And I've borrowed from my grandson Runt because I haven't read it yet.
Wonderful. Yeah,
So I'm going to read that. And Foot of the Cherry Tree,
Oh, wow, I love
which will be great. And yes, Judy Nunn. I always love a Judy Nunn. So yeah, that will get me through the first week, and then I'll see what happens after that.
All right, there you go. All right, well, thank you for all your support.
Yeah.
Thank you for your writing. I know that so many of our readers and our community love everything you do. So thank you so much, Trisha. And have a
Thank
wonderful
you. You guys are so special, and I love chatting with you and catching up with you. I'm so sorry I'm not there to enjoy the drinks with you, but I've got one here. Thanks to all the readers and people who join in to Better Reading, because it's always so much interesting and so much fun. So thank you all, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Yay. All right. Now there's so many people on. Are we up to comp?
Yes,
question?
we're going to do 2 more now.
2 more.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All right. So listening very carefully, we're going to ask a question, and the first comment that comes up is the winner. Okay. The next question is, which book won the Miles Franklin Award in 2023? I've got it right here, actually. but I'm not going to hold it up until. So the Miles Franklin Award, who won this year in 2023? Right.
Mm.
Okay. No, not yet. Oh, Stacey. I think we give it to Stacey. I
Yeah.
think that's close
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
There we go. This one, the Chai Time at Cinnamon Gardens, Shankari Chandra. We had her in the office. We
She's
did- oh,
great.
She's
She
so
is
wonderful.
So cool. Yeah.
So anyway, congratulations. You're going to get a merch pack.
Yes. So
Okay.
please DM us and we'll
With your
start a
details.
chat. Yeah.
Okay, well
Next
that's
one.
fantastic. Oh, another prize.
Yeah, we're going to now. Get
Okay,
ready.
all right. Okay, so the question is, what's Cheryl's all-time favorite book? Do we have a
Everyone
copy?
knows that.
Everyone knows it. Do we have a copy around here? Do
Yeah, we
it's in the top
definitely do.
100,
Mm.
right? What's Cheryl's all-time favorite book? Yes, Melissa got it. To Kill a Mockingbird. That's correct, Melissa. Sally McGregor did say John Brown,
Oh.
and that is a really, really close second. John Brown, Rose and the Midnight
Mm.
Cat. But my first one is To Kill a Mockingbird. I don't know if everybody knows this, but John Brown died 2 weeks ago. So, yes, no more John Brown. I know.
Tough.
It is tough. It's been
Mm.
really tough.
Mm.
Jane said Obama. I did like Obama, but I liked Michelle Obama's book better than I liked Barack Obama's book.
Mm.
But anyway, thank you so much. So that's
Yeah,
two
so
prize
that's two
packs.
more. So that's three. We've still got two more to go.
Right.
Now, I want to touch base about the podcast
Oh,
because,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, yeah.
everyone
Loves
loves the
the
podcast.
podcast.
And if you haven't listened to it, you should. So
Yeah.
the link is down there and we're going to put up an image in a minute. But you've had some great conversations this year.
I tell you what, I'm so lucky. And, you know, as I said earlier, because I'm at a certain age, I really forget everything about that person. And then when they come in and talk to me, it's such, I mean, often I don't know these things anyway. Like, for instance, when Brian Brown came in, I had no idea that Brian Brown was from Panania, which is near Bankstown. So he was a Western, you know, grew up in Western Sydney, single mum, and there's still a really close relationship with Western Sydney and Brian Brown. Like, he's still so connected to his roots. But I think that for me, do you know, I think I might have said this to you before, Jane, and you'll know too from the B podcast, is I really feel every single podcast I learn something. I always learn something that I don't know in those conversations. And do you know, I've recorded well over 500 podcasts now. Do you know, this is another funny thing that I do. You know, occasionally you say to me, you've got to listen to this one, because I tend not to listen to it because, you know, people don't like the sound of their own voice. And I think it's kind of weird if I line up my podcast and listen to them. So I only really do it if you tell me to, right? Say, listen to this, or we're going to check this or whatever. And I've got my headphones on and I'm walking around the park with John Brown. I used to walk around the park with John Brown. And I'm listening to it. And do you know, I'm responding to the authors in the exact same way so that I am when I have responded. Even the same words come out. It's so extraordinary that, you know, and that to me, it's because none of it's scripted.
Yeah, it's about being present and being in that moment and just responding
she
to them.
always brings in the woo-woo.
Oh, yeah, that's
Did you
really
see
weird.
that? How
Yeah,
she slipped in the woo-woo? Always. Okay, all
I
right.
just put on my witch's hat.
There we
Yeah.
go. So
But let's put on the podcast thing. This is what you're looking out for.
So we've got Book Chat with Caroline Overington, which we adore. We've got Stories Behind the Story, which they're the ones that I talk to authors with. We've got Better Reading B, which Jane does, talking about, you know, mind, body, spirit. And then we've got What Are You Reading? Okay, well, now we've got another very special guest who's here with us tonight. And I really think it's exceptional that he's made it here, because Tim has broken his ankle or his foot in 3 places. Ankle in 3 places.
Yeah.
I thought ankle only just had 1 place. But anyway.
No, well, there's 2 big bones in there, and I've managed to break both of them, and one of them twice. So,
Yeah.
clumsy accident. By the
Yeah.
pool.
Yeah. And have you learned something?
That I'm not good at multitasking.
Yeah.
That's probably what I learned.
And probably that we have to be very careful
Yeah.
as we get to a certain age.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay, you all know the lovely Tim Aleph. Tim is here today, limping. He's got a boot on, but he made it. He's had some champagne. He's had some pizza. And so tell us how you're going. What's happening
Yeah.
outside of the broken ankle?
I'm great. I've just finished the next John Bailey book, so that's all ready to go for the middle of next year. I think month and date TBC, which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
And,
So we've got one of your people from your publishing house here
we
today.
do, the
So be
wonderful-
very, very careful about what you say.
the wonderful Anna O'Grady,
The wonderful Anna O'Grady.
favourite publicist.
Yeah, she's one
yeah.
of my favourites.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So no, I'm good. I've just left my job at the ABC this week as well.
You've left your
so
job,
I'm,
yes.
So I've got a lot more time to write, which is going to be fun, and read as well.
Yeah.
So it's been a good
Something,
week.
it's very liberating, isn't it? Like in terms of moving from one career to the next, because, you know, now the excitement, I guess, of being all you know, the satisfaction of being able to write full time, because not everybody can afford to do that, right?
Yeah, and look, I'll take a break from professional world for a bit and just write for maybe 6 months, a year. I'll see how we go and I'll see what happens. But I did 17 years at the ABC, running a lot of TV news shows, and it was great. I loved it, and I leave with fond memories. But it's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster this week, I've got to say.
Yeah, there's a lot happening in the world at the moment, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
And even with the traditional mastheads, and in light of what's happening, you know, people are finding their feet, people are not finding their feet, you know, and it's crazy out there. But that's why we resort to fiction.
Yes, and
for a bit of escapism, you know.
Well, one of the good, if there is a good thing about breaking a bone where you have to just lie down for the first few weeks, which I did, is did a lot
I
of
bet
reading.
you your wife must be very happy that you're lying down on a lounge.
Well,
hours.
I've got this little, I've got a little scooter, like a mobility scooter that I whip around the house on, and I've now, and everyone else has discovered, I can actually do chores with that mobility scooter. So it's it's been great, and then it's sort of blown my cover a bit as well.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, look, I've been reading a lot of books, and just loving that sort of freedom at the moment. I read Michael Connolly's Nine Dragons. It came out a long time ago, but for any Connolly fans, it's a real, I call it a foundation Bosch story in a way. It's his wife and daughter and all that are in it. It's fantastic.
Can I just make a comment there? You know, you said that, you know, it came out a long time ago. We say this a lot, and I know that our community agree with this. A book's new until you've read it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's just the book industry that uses the language of new releases, and we use the language of backlist and whatever. But if you're a reader, everything is new until you've read it.
Yeah, I agree. I went back even further and read a biography of Timothy McVeigh, the Oklahoma bomber.
Wow.
Which I was intrigued to read that, because everything that we see going on with sovereign citizens and the far right, and in Australia as well as in America, the history is repeating itself. So I was really intrigued to go back and read that. Dark Ride by Lou Berney, American writer. He's fantastic. He wrote November Road, which some of you may have heard about. That Dark Ride's his new one. S.A. Cosby's new one, All the Sinners Bleed. He's a wonderful writer. Wrote Blacktop Wasteland and Razorblade Tears. Razorblade Tears was one of my favourite books, I think, of 21, 22. So yeah, and Chris Hammers, I finally got around to The Till, which was a great ride.
He's a good writer, isn't he?
Yeah, really good.
And a really good bloke. Do you guys know each other?
Yeah. Chris and I know each other well.
Oh,
and
yeah, right.
It's the writing community in Australia, there's a bit of like crime and thriller writers. We tend to catch up a little bit and very supportive of each other, and we read each other's work when we need to and things like that.
Do you know, I've got to tell you, I mean, I don't know whether it's the same with all writing communities all around the world, but there isn't a single writer that I've spoken to, just, you know, in normal day-to-day stuff, or even on a podcast, that hasn't acknowledged another writer or said something lovely about another writer or mentioned, you know, and I get a sense that it's not fake, it's really real, and all these writers have great relationships and support each other. And, you know, when you're hearing it like me day in, day out, I just, you know, it makes me really proud to be part of this industry. It's really lovely.
Me too, and I think that we're really lucky at the moment. There are so many good Australian writers.
Aren't we lucky?
I mean,
Aren't we?
I grew up reading a lot of international writers, and now at least half of my reading list is Aussie authors.
Well, did you know years ago, and Anna probably would know this, who's here with us tonight from Summoners History, years ago when you had a look at publishing, because I'm old and I've been doing this a very long time. I think I was on the shop floor 30 years ago. But anyway, let's not dwell on that. But when I started in the book industry, and I was in my early 20s, 70% of the books that publishers bought in were books mainly from the UK and some from the US, and Australia published about 30% of those titles. So it was 30-70 for the large part of my career, and really I think it's only changed in the last 10 years, and that number's actually turned. Now it's 70% Australian and 30% from overseas.
Well, it's a big shout out to the Aussie publishers then for backing our writers.
That's right. It's a great
fantastic.
investment. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for coming in. Now you need to look after yourself. So I reckon you're probably not doing very much over Christmas and New Year. Is that right?
I'm about to read this one.
Oh, there you go. The Shelley
She's
Bird.
a fantastic
Isn't
writer.
she wonderful? I spoke to her the other day.
Right.
And she's joining us
Oh,
tonight.
yeah, she's coming up.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Good one.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Tim.
everyone.
Now
Have
we've
a
got
great Christmas.
Don't forget, we've got pizza and we've got champagne. People at home, they've all got a drink, and hopefully you're eating something as well. Okay, there you go. Thank you.
From the crutches.
Can I just find my balance? What have I got? Oh, Natalie's coming in next. Right. Okay.
Do you want to maybe
Got
read
it.
some comments as well?
Yes. Okay. Hi. I mean, it's just extraordinary how this magic happens. A screen comes up, and we've got Natalie here, who you'll all know who Natalie is. She's been with Better Reading for a long time. She runs the children's department, and she's here to talk to us about Kids Book.
Yes.
And perfect Christmas present is a children's book. Absolute
So many.
perfection.
I had no idea about kids' books really until I started here. Now I feel I know kids' books better than adults' books, and never really get a chance to read anything for adults, but I'm going to do that over the summer. And I've got some great ones to share. So the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, this is the new one, No Brainer. It's a good series for any kids aged 8 to 12, I think, and a big backlist. So if you really want to get a nice series for Christmas, this is a good one. Another series one is Keeper of the Lost Cities. This is a fantastic series, and it's just come out as a graphic novel. So for any fans, that's a good one as well.
I think graphic novels are a really good idea for kids, and particularly reluctant readers. Yeah, look at that.
So I guess if someone's not really into a full series, this might be a good place to start.
Yeah.
Another one who does some great graphic novels, such as The Odds and a few other ones, but we've got Matt Stanton's Fluff. This is his new series, and it's the first book, Bullies Beware. So if you know any fans, grab that one.
And I think I recorded a podcast with Matt a little while ago.
So.
Yes, I did.
It's a great one. Harry Potter.
Wow.
These are all
wow.
part of our 12 Days of Christmas series, by the way, and we'll have a screen in a sec that will show that as well. This is for any Harry Potter fans. This is really just a big insider guide if you like that. Any curious kids?
Your books are getting bigger, Natalie.
They are. I ordered them in size.
Right, okay.
Britannica's Encyclopedia, so great for curious kids. There's some activities and a few other things in there as well. And a good way to end it in
a very big book.
Spirit Bigger Than My Head is Bluey, and this is their Advent calendar.
Hasn't that been an amazing success? I was at a dinner party recently, and somebody recommended the Bluey episode where they play cricket or something. Now, because I don't have kids, I haven't watched Bluey, but I went home and watched it, and it was fantastic.
They're actually really fun. I've got 4 nieces, and they've made me watch a lot of Bluey episodes.
Yeah.
And also, this is my way to then plug Bluey Cricket, the book. We're actually doing that on the kids page next week. So if you're not following our kids page, it's a great guide for teachers, librarians, parents, aunties, uncles, anyone. If you want to go follow that page, we're almost at 100,000 likes. So go and follow it if you can.
So that's Better Reading Facebook and Better Reading Kids Facebook and Better Reading Instagram.
Yes.
Okay, Natalie, thank you for your
very
expertise. If you're looking for kids' books, go to the Better Reading Facebook page. Okay, so somebody else is going to show up, and it's Jane.
Me.
Hello,
Magic.
Jane. What's happening?
It's just like magic.
It is really like magic. Okay, we've got so many comments from people at home, and Natalie, so many people are telling me that they've bought some of those children's books for their either grandchildren or children, and they love them as well.
Look
I mean,
at all those
really,
comments.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
great.
and what a great gift, I think. Okay, so what are you doing here?
Well, we have Shelley Burke.
Oh, right, we have Shelley Bird. She's streaming in from home. Oh, there she is.
Hi,
I spoke to
Shelley.
Shelley the other day.
Hi.
Oh,
There we are, Ripper. How's it going?
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, like it's just had an amazing response from readers. It's been, putting out a second book is pretty nerve-wracking. Putting out a first book is pretty nerve-wracking too. But, I felt like I had so much time to prepare for putting out Wake, and then Ripper, it just felt like maybe I'd gotten super lucky with Wake, and this was the one where it was all going to go wrong. But clearly not. People have responded to it really well, and it's just been wonderful.
I think you touched on something there, Shelley. I mean, I've often spoken, and you and I have spoken about this. You put out a first book, and it's almost like winning a lottery if it takes off, and it's a wonderful feeling. But also that preciousness of writing a book that largely is uncontracted. There's no pressure. You put out your first baby, and it's all fantastic, and then all of a sudden you've got to deliver a second. And you don't have very much time to enjoy the first experience, do you? And then it's like the second book, is it going to work? Is it going to sell? And is whatever. But, you've been, I was going to say lucky, but that's not true. A good story is always recognised by readers.
Yeah, I think there is a certain element of luck to it as well. Like I've always been really grateful for the way that, sometimes the dice has gone my way.
Yeah, fantastic. Now, what are you reading over Christmas and New Year? Have you got a list?
Yeah, certainly. So I'm not a particularly quick reader, so this list will probably carry me right through to the end of January. I've just finished this one. It's Love and Other Scores by Abra Pressler, who is a Canberra author, actually. You were speaking earlier about how cool Canberra is these days, and I think Abra really proves that. It's just a really fun sports romance about a tennis player and a bartender who fall in love. I've also got an early copy of this one, The Busybody. So this is an American book, but Kemper Donovan. And I'm really excited to read this one because Kemper runs a podcast about Agatha Christie. So I think this is going to be a really old school, cozy crime fiction novel. And I haven't read one of those in a really long time. So I'm pretty excited.
We've got a podcast with him.
I did. I was just going to say I spoke to someone recently who had a podcast about Agatha Christie, and that was Kemper. There you go. And I thought, really, how much talking can you do about Agatha Christie? But when I hopped on and had a listen, it's incredibly interesting.
And my last one actually showed up in the mail today, so I was very excited, which is the new novel by Anne Boost and Graham Simpson, The Glass House. So I loved the Rosie Project, and I think they've written a couple of non-fiction books together, but I'm really excited to dive into a fiction book.
So there are
Sue's question that's just popped up.
Yeah, sure. Go on.
Yeah, so Sue Kramer's just asked, is Ripper a sequel or a standalone book? So there is a little bit of crossover between the two. Some characters from Wake do show up in Ripper, but you can read them in either order. So I've heard from a lot of people who read Ripper first and then went to Wake. So either way.
I'm so impressed, Shelley, that you were able to read the comments.
And there's a lot of comments coming up there. Yeah.
That is particular. You're multitasking there, Shelley. We appreciate
I think that's another example of me getting lucky. I just happened to put my eyes over there and I was like, I can answer that question.
Right, you can. And also, you know what you can do, and for all our lovely community out there, they love this, is if you're on Facebook, you can jump on and chat with people and talk to them and answer questions and whatever. Please feel free to do that. Our community enjoy that a lot, don't they, Jane?
They do.
Yeah. All right, we're going to let you go. Have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. Thank you so
Merry
much.
Christmas.
Thank you.
Get writing.
All right.
All right. And so Shelley's book's there for
right,
anyone
there you
who is looking, but I see that a lot of people there have been reading them anyway. And we're going back to just have a look at some more from the 12 Days of Christmas. You had a podcast.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Just recently with Richard.
So this is what happened to me in 2 days. The first podcast was with Matt Preston, and he was 6 foot a lot. I don't know,
Yeah,
6 foot what, but
5,
like, yeah,
something,
you know, he was so
Mm.
kind of Amazon tall and big, and I reckon I came to his waist, and I thought, oh gosh, that only happens once in a lifetime.
Mm.
And then Richard
And
came
Richard Osman came in.
in, and he was taller than Matt Preston. And again, I probably didn't even
I reckon
come
he's
to his
7
waist.
foot.
He was the tallest
Mm.
person I've ever stood next to.
Yeah.
But isn't he wonderful?
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? His writing also reminds me of Joanna Nell.
Mm.
Joanna Nell books, don't you think? And
Mm.
Joanna's here with us tonight.
Yes.
But there is, you know, like a
Yeah.
similarity, don't you
Yeah.
think? No dead bodies, no, not
No.
crime. But I mean, there is in terms of the value of.
I think the heartfelt like weaving of a
Yes.
community, but
Yes.
also being very witty.
That's right.
Yeah.
And sort of recognizing and seeing people that are older. Okay.
Sam Neill
Oh
is
my
another
gosh.
one.
Yeah.
This one, Dex loves this one. It's a Korean translation. Welcome to the Hwangdong Bookshop, which is
Right.
very popular and big on
Can we get
TikTok.
Sam Neill back? Because I don't think we
Mm.
showed him enough.
Mm.
There you go. There he is. I mean, that sold like hotcakes as well.
Mm.
And a
Mm.
fabulous book. And he talks about having cancer and
Yeah.
recovering from that. Yes, Dex does love translations. When I interviewed Dex for
That
his
one.
when he
Yeah.
came to work with us, I said, "What would you like? You know, out of your job at Better Reading, and what kind of books would you like to read?" He said, "Translated."
Yeah, so we
only."
gave him loads of rural romance
Yes,
just to
that's
really
right.
test his mettle.
So
Yeah.
Dex's life has changed since he's been here. Right.
Yeah. Colleen Hoover,
Yes.
Unsung. This is a beautiful
Kate
gift.
Sobrano, and
Now,
I'm talking
you're-
to her
you're
next
talking
week.
to her next week.
Oh, I
but
can't
it's
wait.
just look at the inside of this book. What a
Oh,
beautiful
yeah.
gift for anyone who was sort of around in that era and really a great musician.
And also a
great
beautiful
artist.
gift, beautiful
Mm.
person, beautiful everything.
And 12th Day of Christmas.
Pip Williams, the bookbinder
Bookbinder.
of Jericho.
Mm.
Weren't we lucky this year? We went to see the Dictionary of Lost Words
Yes.
at the Opera House.
Yeah.
Yes. Jane and I were
What a
invited.
treat.
We were invited to opening night.
Opening night at the
There
Opera
were
House.
lots of famous people,
mm.
including us.
Us. Mm.
It was great
pretty
fun.
fun.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's just put up all 12 books.
Books.
Of the 12 Days of Christmas.
Well, there you go. What a miracle. Joanna Nell's just walked in. There you go. You've been here a little while, haven't you? Because we recorded a podcast. Welcome. Joanna's here live with us. And she has got several books, 4 books, aren't we? We're up to 4 books.
We're 5, actually.
5. Okay, there you go. Do you want to talk to us about them?
This is the latest one. As you may know or may have noticed that all my books feature older protagonists, but these are the youngest of they are retirees, so they're in their 60s. And
Gosh, is that a retiree? in
yeah,
her 60s?
so
Yep.
it's sort of a lesson in what not to do in retirement. So it's a good idea to have a little chat with your spouse before you retire about what you want to do.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you could end up like, well, Dr. and Dr. Winterbottom or Mr. and Mrs. Winterbottom. One wants to head off into the Greek islands and have some adventures, and Alan wants to stay at home and grow vegetables. So
I've heard that story a lot.
so
Yeah.
it's actually a lot of people.
Yes, it is.
They're sort of living that story.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, that's
resonated
right.
with a few couples.
I think
so-
when you get married, you should make that agreement of what you're going to do in later, if you're still together later in life. Have you worked out what you're going to do in 20 years' time?
Well, I don't think I need to worry because my husband's never going to retire as a complete
Oh,
sort of
okay,
workaholic.
right.
But actually, the book was inspired by a conversation we had, and he said that if he did ever retire, he wanted to buy a big boat and sail off into the sunset, sell our house and everything else. And I decided I quite wanted a tree change instead of a sea change. I wouldn't fancy. I would rather move to the country. I'm probably the one who would keep vegetables and hens and everything else. So it sort of got me thinking, well, who is going to compromise on this?
I think what you do is put it into a hat, swirl it around a little bit, and then just do whatever comes
So
out
you either do a
first.
little bit of both, or you do what you want but separately. So
Yeah.
that's not an option in our case.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, so what are you reading over Christmas and New Year?
I'm looking forward to getting down to a bit of reading. I'm actually going to get my little sort of country escape, my little tree change with Penelope Janu's latest Sunshine Through the Rains is only just out. And dear Penelope, I think was meant to be here tonight, but she's not. So I'm going to head off into a rural romance, which I love. I've called it here, rural romance for the head as well as the heart. So Penny's in my writing group, and so I always sort of hear the story and get the background on these books before they come out. So we've got 2 vets. She's moved away from her Norwegian heroes to a Scottish vet in this one.
Wow,
So
there you go.
very excited about that one.
Joanna, I'm just going to say, Dorothy said, or you separate in terms of what you want to do.
Yeah, but we'll see. We've got a few years to
Thanks,
work that one
Dorothy.
out.
Well, that's what she's done. But that's a good tip. Thank you so much, Dorothy.
I'll bear that in mind.
Okay.
Abby's watching tonight.
Yeah, okay.
The second one is a book that's coming out in January. It's a debut by
Right.
Liz Foster, The Good Woman's Guide to Making Better Choices. And I'm so excited about this. I feel like I'm a proud parent because I've watched Liz progress from the sidelines.
Oh,
I've
how
given
lovely.
her a few words of advice along the way, and she's really kind of demonstrated such resilience and persistence. And I read a very early draft of this and gave her some my comments on this. I'm really excited to see this out in the world, and I'm going to be launching it for her in January. So that's coming out with Affirm.
Out of all the authors I've spoken to on the podcast, and as I said, I think I said this earlier. I'm drinking champagne, so I can't remember whether I said it earlier or not. But 500 and more is what authors I've spoken to. No one ever says that I wrote a book, got published, and it came out. Every person has a journey to writing. And if I was to pick a personality trait of authors generally, like just say all the 500 that I've met, what's the one thing they have in common? And that is tenaciousness, that they work so hard to get published. Some people's journeys are faster than others, but they all are really hard workers, and that's why they get here, and they are single-minded. I've spoken to an author, I've forgotten her name now, where, she had a spreadsheet of 100, Josephine Moon, she had a spreadsheet of 100 rejections. That's a special person to be able to do that. And now she's got, several books. So there is that one quality, I think, that you find in writers.
Absolutely, certainly the ones that end up being
published.
Yeah,
because they don't give up. Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Yeah. And what do you do over Christmas? Do you do anything fancy? Do you have turkey or do you have seafood?
Yes, we, being from the motherland originally, we sweat through turkey and Christmas
And where do
pudding.
you live? Because I might show up then.
I'm in Avalon in the Northern Beaches.
Okay, all right.
We've even made a Christmas
I'll
cake.
be there.
My husband's been feeding the Christmas cake for weeks, so
Oh,
it's had
lovely.
everything from the leftovers of the brandy, the rum, a bit of tequila in it. So I'm really looking forward to that Christmas cake.
Yeah, how fabulous. All right, well, thank you so much, Joanna, for joining us.
Thank you. And I just say thank you to everyone who's sent messages or written beautiful reviews for the books. And I think I speak on behalf of all authors. If you want to give a Christmas present to an author, write them a review. Preferably a nice one. But
how lovely. That's such a good idea.
To do that.
Yeah. Thank you, Joanna Nell. Thank you for joining us today. And there'll be a podcast coming too. Okay. All right. Now we've got
Downhill Run.
Yeah.
The Downhill Run. We've got two more
yeah.
prizes. But before that happens, there's one more special guest.
Oh, is
who
there?
we've had so many requests for this person.
Is it a surprise guest?
It's a surprise guest, and they want this person to come on and show his face.
Mm-hmm.
So here's Dex, but he's only got a minute because he's got to run the rest of the show.
There you
Hi,
go. This is Dex. This is the guy that really does all the background work. Like if something is broken, Dex will fix it. If something is not broken, Dex is there. And the reason why it's not broken is because Dex is right behind it. Really valuable member of the team. Great shirt tonight. And we thank him. And we know that you love him and you value him as much as we do. Are you here to talk about something?
I am.
Translation,
what I'm reading,
perhaps?
No, it's not a translation,
Oh,
Florence. This is what I'm reading over the holiday break. So it's Rouge by Mona Awad. She wrote Bunny, if any of you have read that, and that was a really big book, and I loved that book. So I'm really excited to read this. I think it's a loose retelling of Snow White, but about the beauty industry, and it's a horror-ish novel, so I'm excited.
All right. Well, thank you.
I've got to go.
Now
You got to
manifest
go.
now.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. We're going to bring all the staff in because we've got
We've
two
got
more.
two more prizes, and then
we're going to bring everybody in. Okay.
The second last question.
So Dex had to run off.
Run off to do the questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So which author placed number 1 on the Better Reading Top 100 and the Better Reading Kids Top 100, Top 50 in 2023? So it was one author across both lists, and it was the same book.
No,
No, it wasn't.
no, it was two different books.
It was two different books.
Mm.
Right. Okay, somebody's got it. It was.
She's already won.
She's already won.
Oh my God, you've got fast fingers.
Yeah. How did that happen? I didn't even get the question out.
All of these people.
Yeah, so it was Maria Lawrence.
Yeah.
It was Craig Silvey.
Yeah.
So Runt was on the kids and Honeybee was on the adults.
Yes.
Is that right? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
That was a little bit misleading, but
Yeah.
you all got it. And we love Craig, and he's such a wonderful writer. Okay.
So Maria, please DM us.
yes, so
thank
Maria.
you.
Now, I think this might be it for the
One
night.
last question.
Oh, another question.
Yeah, we have
okay,
time
there we
to,
go. You are
right
so
away.
lucky. to get
This one might be a bit difficult. We might have to just,
Okay, all right.
make up another question.
I
But
reckon they'll get it.
what's Jane's all-time favorite book? We did a video the other day, and I was holding it up.
Oh, I don't know that either.
So, did anyone watch the video the other day? Me talking about my all-time
I am telling
favourite
you,
book?
Jane, that was a very brave question for you to put that up. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Mm,
no, not yet. No,
no,
no. Do we get a
cricket.
Oh, Nicole says
Pillow
pillow
something.
something. Is it true?
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
okay,
Yeah,
pillow something,
Pillow
Nicole.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the pillow book of Cy Shonagon.
Oh,
So the pillow book.
right. Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, they were watching because
Yes,
Julie
with Julie,
says it was
yeah.
set in Japan. Pillow talk.
Yeah.
Belinda got it wrong, said Rebecca, and Chris said, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, two people.
Yeah.
Two
Thanks,
people are
Nicole.
interested in
Two
your
people
book.
watched my review. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we're going to collect the team, but before we do that, I want to thank all the authors that were here tonight and
Yeah.
were present. I want to thank everyone at home from the bottom of my heart. Our community is so wonderful. I've had a particularly tough year, and I know that you guys know that because you've sent me notes. It's terrible what's happening in Gaza at the moment, and that's affected me deeply. And so many of you have sent me private messages about that. And I thank you so much. I really do. And I'm really hoping that we can come to some solution, very, very quickly. I want to thank the staff. I want to thank Jane, because while I've not been not well, Jane has picked up and, just run with the business, run with the community, as have all the staff. And that includes Sophie, it includes Dex, and it includes Natalie. Honestly, this business wouldn't be Better Reading without them. So thank you to everybody, and thank you to all the authors that came in via streaming, and thank you to all the authors that have come in.
And the readers.
And the readers, absolutely. Our wonderful, wonderful community. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas and New Year. Please stay safe. And we won't be back live until January, I think. Is that right?
Early Feb. I
Early
think.
Feb,
Yeah.
right. Okay. All right, we're going to get
Yeah.
everybody in.
Just a quick hello. Come on.
Come
Yeah.
on, Sophie, come on. Natalie, let's say.
Dex, you've already seen Dex. It's
You've
all
already
good.
seen
Yeah.
Dex. Sophie, do you want to come
Yeah.
and say hi to everybody? Sophie, for those of you at home, and you know this, she runs Preview, where you get all your advanced reading copies?
Yeah.
That's Sophie. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Bend down a bit more. There
And
you
she
go.
writes amazing reviews. So a lot of
She
the reviews
does.
that you're reading are written by Sophie. And yes,
That's
so
it. That's another year from Better Reading.
you have a great time in San Francisco.
I will. And
you need a good break.
I do. I need a circuit
Yeah.
breaker. Thank you to everybody. And everybody have a safe and happy Christmas.